Okay, so what's up? We are here once again. And welcome. So we are about to get into the messages for whomever it may concern. What are the messages for whoever it may concern? What are the messages? So I just kind of picked up right away. I feel like there was some type of misunderstanding. Somebody misunderstood something. I don't know if they had some type of negative influence or if they were triggered. I do pick up something here about trigger, and I do kind of pick up something here about jealousy. But it's not like a treacherous jealousy. It could just be a jealousy, like somebody not, like they don't want to see you with anybody else, like they get jealous of people who are around you. So that kind of tells me it's, that maybe you're at a distance from someone, maybe somebody is not in your life, so it could be a secret admirer, you know and the secret admirer is just, they're not in your life, but they don't like the thought, or they don't like to see you, around other people, so they kind of get jealous of you being around other people. you know it's like I said, it's not anything malicious. It's they're just like, well, I can't be around you. I don't want anybody else to be around you. I don't want to see anybody else around you. Like, if I can't be in your life, I don't want to just see you just living your life as if you are oblivious to me. Okay. um mm. So that tells me, that somebody really likes you. And if it's a new connection that you're just making, it's like that in the beginning, because, well, you're not secure within the relationship yet, because it's like you don't really know what you mean to this person, what this person means to you. you know um y'all are not exclusive, so I don't know if anybody else knows, but in the beginning, it's kind of rocky because we're just getting to know each other and all this type of stuff. So we're having all of these mixed feelings and mixed emotions. So there's something here about having to be, just a little patient. But I think that's typical in the beginning. And it's kind of like a compliment too, because at least you know that this person cares. I wanted to say worry. You don't really want somebody worrying about you, but they worry because they care. You know. Then on top of that, they wish when you're around other people, they wish that it was them you were around. So it's a little, just a little J. Okay. So in the position of your crown, you have the Eight of Pentacles. This is a pursuit. It's going to represent a pursuit, or it's going to represent some type of cash flow, reaping the benefits of your harvest. It's definitely some type of consistency. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords here. Okay, so this is kind of like the paranoia card, but it's kind of like also the runner card. Oh, excuse me, we have the King of Cups. So if somebody, sometimes we're used to people chasing us, and with them chasing us, we feel like they care. I just feel like there are a lot of behaviors and there are a lot of patterns that are breaking for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's not healthy to chase after somebody. So okay. You have somebody who they feel some kind of way that they're not willing to talk about, right? So instead of confronting, instead of facing situations head on, instead of communicating, they run away. They really don't want to run away, but they want you to chase down after them. So it's a little dramatic, but with the Nine of Swords here, it creates a lot of anxiety. So it's like I don't want to tell somebody how I feel, because I don't want to look unstable in front of them. So with the King of Cups here, this is somebody who's unconditional. The King of Cups is very emotionally mature. This is emotional intelligence. So this person has a tendency, and this could be you, right? this person could have a tendency to, they're very stable, very solid. Sometimes they come off nonchalant, and some people may mistake it for cold. But it's not them being cold. So it comes off intimidating, because if somebody has unhealthy patterns and behaviors, with dealing with relationships, then when it comes to somebody who's stable, they feel a little intimidated, or maybe threatened, or they can become triggered, like they're not good enough. Okay, so somebody is used to dealing with their relationships to where people are very reactive. Okay, people are very reactive when they don't get what they want from somebody else, or when people in your past haven't gotten what they wanted from you. You may have noticed a certain pattern in people's behaviors. Okay, so with this situation here, it's like somebody runs away because they think that you're too good to be true. They are a cruel person to where you are a solid, compassionate, a stable, emotionally intelligent person. Feeling like you're not too good to be true, feeling like you're too good to be true, feeling like that they're not good enough, feeling like they can't meet up to your expectations, or this, that. People, when you're unconditional, it's very foreign to people. They don't understand it, because a lot of people think that love comes from pain. They feel like if there's no drama, they feel like if there's no pain, they feel like the love is not real. And that's absolutely, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't need somebody to be reactive or to be toxic to show you that they love you. But when that is something that you are used to, that is your pattern. That is what you know. That is how your mind works. You tell yourself this is love if they act out behind me. Okay? But when it comes to the King of Cups, and this is when I go into talking about how emotions can make us very selfish, right? Because somebody who is solid and somebody who is stable, and they're dealing with an individual who's being cruel and acting out and acting crazy and trying to be hurtful. What are you telling that emotionally stable person? You're telling them that you don't like them. You're telling them that you don't value them, that you don't respect them. So that may have something to do a little bit like with the jealousy and the trigger, but that's more cruel. The jealousy that I picked up before, it's not cruel. So the King of Cups, it's like when this person can pick up that people are playing games, this person will walk away. Like I said, because you're showing this person that you don't like them. You're showing them that you would be hurtful towards them instead of opening up to them, instead of being honest with them, instead of, like telling them how you feel and what you think. Everybody doesn't put up with that toxic behavior because it is cruelty. And a lot of people think that it's cute to be cruel. A lot of people think that being cruel is a way to show somebody that you love them. Okay, now that's some people's love language. But to somebody who is emotionally intelligent, it's like, no, you're telling me that you absolutely do not like me. Why would you be cruel to somebody that you have love and feelings for? If you think about it, how much sense does that make? Right? But when we're operating from toxicity, this is what it is. Okay. So you have the Eight of Swords in reverse here. So I'm going to put that to the side because that's the past. Okay, so you have the Sun, you have the Nine of Swords, and you have the King of Cups. Okay, so then we have the Page of Pentacles, and then we have the Nine of Cups. So somebody sees you as a challenge. Okay, that's why they wanted to run away. They felt like it was easier to be cruel to you and to just run away because they don't want to be wrong. And it's like they were expecting you to chase them, to validate their behavior, but they were trying to play reverse psychology on you. So you just stood there stable and solid. You did not chase them. You did not react or respond to them outside of how you feel about them. And I think that is the kicker. Because your emotional stability displays that you you really like them. You love them unconditionally. So I just feel like they're realizing that you love them regardless. So, they may feel a little, you're very challenging to this person. Okay. But it's crazy because, to me, it seems like this person is your wish fulfillment. If there are any questions that you have that I do not answer, the answer is yes. So you have the synchronicity of 9 and 9. This is spiritual completion. Okay, so this is a master number, which means that these are things that you observe within. Oh God, these are things in which that you're observing within your physical reality. Okay, Nine of Cups also, you are emotionally independent. You know how to make yourself happy. You're a challenge to somebody. You're very challenging to them. There's a lot of independence that you have, that you hold within who you are. This person is not used to that. I have a feeling that you represent who this person is by nature, but because of the experiences in which that they have had in the past, they're starting to realize that the past has affected them and that they have also become their abusers of the past too. So I feel like, that is the completion. So it's like you're being catalytic. You're trying to show this person, you're trying to help remind them of who they truly are. And you're not doing it intentionally. You're just being yourself. So you're helping them to realize, like, man, I got to get back to being me. I got to get back to being this person. I sit up here, I've had my experiences. I sit up here and, I know how to weaponize certain things against people when they have certain behaviors. But, I can't even identify when somebody is not having those behaviors. Somebody is being genuine towards me. I'm a genuine person too. So what am I doing, acting and behaving like these people from the past? So that is the completion. So it's like you have spiritually guided this person back into who they are, and you have helped them to reflect on maybe certain things going on, maybe some unresolved issues from their past. Okay. So the thing is that I feel like the two of you have a lot in common. Okay, so you're used to people being cruel to you too. This person is used to people being cruel, but they can detect, or it's kind of like their instincts tell them, oh, this person is about to do something, say something, they're about to be cruel to me in some kind of way. So before they do it to me, I'm gonna do it to them. It's a defense mechanism. That's instincts. So you're showing this person intuition. So it's kind of like you're showing them a divinity, a divine way as to how to study behavior. So, this person's dealt with a lot of low vibrational people, who behave and act from, the animalistic part of themselves. Okay. And the thing is that, yes, you have a tendency to be cruel too. And so, this person has seen that from you, but you wanted them to see that from you because you don't want them to put you on a pedestal. That's also a part of the spiritual completions, so there have, there's been a lot of things that, that you have been showing this person about yourself. And see, when it comes to instinct, I mean, we all are humans, so we all have and can operate from animal instinct, but not a lot of people operate from intuition. A lot of people don't trust their intuition. It's hard for people to move from instinct to intuition. Okay, but you have the ability to move in between both. So even though, so it's like you're stopping this person from putting you on a pedestal, because it's kind of like that's what they want to do. But with them putting you on a pedestal, you see how it's not healthy, because it's kind of like, no, yeah, I appreciate that you think highly of me, but I'm human too. I can relate to you. I can relate. So, don't feel bad about things in which that you may display. Don't feel bad about things in which that you've done that, like, don't feel bad about it, because I'm the same person. I just, I just know how to move in a different way. I know how to see things from a higher perspective. That's all. That's the only thing that separates the two of us. You can see things in a higher perspective too, but you're so used to studying like certain, behaviors to where, you know how predictable people can be. Okay, if you're able to do that, it's because you are able to rise above it too. So instead of operating with you in animalism, I'm going to operate with you in divinity, because that's actually how I feel about you. You think highly of me, you put me on a pedestal. Well, I think the same of you, regardless of whatever you're going to operate from. I'm not fazed by your cruelty. Okay. So like I said, you're a challenge to this person, but this person is also a challenge to you. But like I said, you have cruelty in common, but you also have emotional independence. So now it's kind of like, okay, so we've dealt with the cruelty, we've gotten over that. Like, remember the things in which that you love to do that bring you joy. It's time to focus on those things so that we can stabilize ourselves within our emotional independence. Okay. With the Sun card here, this is attracting transparent connections. So, this is kind of where I pick up the jealousy from. You're being welcomed into new places. You're at your prime right now. There's a lot of joy. You're attracting transparent people. So, it's like somebody is paranoid. They're paranoid from all the attention that you're getting. And so they're being cruel out of how vulnerable they feel and not wanting to display that vulnerability. I mean, but you get it. You understand. The main thing that you want this person to understand is that you get it. You've been there. You can be the same person. See, the thing, you're thinking about how you would feel. You see? You're thinking about how you would feel too. So in thinking about how you feel, it's like you can understand how somebody else is feeling. Okay, so with the the Eight of Pentacles, I don't know why I said the Eight of Cups. Okay, so there must be distance and discipline. Okay, so I feel like there's distance and discipline between you and somebody else. Because, sometimes people are so focused in on a picture that all they see is a color, right? But when we step back from the picture, then we begin to see the whole of the picture. So when it comes to you, it's kind of like people can't really see who you are until you have them at a distance. Like people, when it comes to being unconditional, like I said, people don't understand that. That's rare. Because we get in our feelings and we start doing things and acting a certain way and all that type of stuff, not thinking about how it's affected anybody else, or not thinking about, how we're making ourselves look, But when somebody is unconditional with you, it's supposed to help you ease your guards. Open up, stop running away. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. I want to understand. I want to be able to assure you. I want you to be solid and stable with me. Okay, so I mean, you could be thinking about somebody's consistent behavior, or somebody is thinking about your consistent behavior, and you have to be consistent, because it's a very touchy, sensitive subject. I think that you know that, though. So it's kind of like somebody is crazy about you. They're absolutely crazy about you, and you may know it. And they may know that that they're crazy about you. So it makes them vulnerable. They don't want to be vulnerable because in the past, with them being vulnerable, people have been cruel to them. Or, maybe they've been cruel to other individuals, something like that. You understand what I'm saying, though? So in a way, this person is wounded, right? So when it comes to a wounded dog, you have to earn the trust of that dog. The dog is not going to let you get close to it. So you have to establish a relationship with the dog. You come see the dog every day and you feed it. After a while, with the consistency of you feeding the dog will let its guards down. And it's a process. It takes patience. Okay? It takes patience. Okay, so we're going to wrap the reading up there. Okay, so I hope you are able to take something from that. And until the next time, thank you once again for being here, and we'll talk again.